Welcome, everyone. Tell you, one of the biggest barriers that we face as we're walking toward better health, trying to lose weight, self-doubt. Have you ever struggled with this? You hear a voice inside. It's saying, hey, you can't do that. We've got a story that we've told ourselves for such a long time. It says something like, you're not the kind of person that does something like that. You're the kind of person who just does, fill in the blank. We try to move in a new direction. Moving in a new direction is hard. Change is hard. Anytime we try to do something different, we got a lot of momentum. Turn the ship, right? Have you ever seen the video of they're trying to turn the tanker ships? It takes a mile for them to make a turn because a lot of momentum behind that. So we try to make a turn. It doesn't happen right away. We receive validation. Oh, I'm not that kind of person. I can't do it. This is how we can get trapped in a cycle of self-doubt. We say, I'm not capable of this. But today we're going to add one word to it. One word that can turn our self-doubt around. Yet. I am not capable of this yet. One simple word can take something that is negative, something that is draining, an anchor that is weighing us down, transform it into an aspiration, a vision. I am not capable of this yet. Takes the mindset into a place of turning this obstacle into a stepping stone that help us climb up our mountain, walking our path, moving in the direction of our dream. That's what I want to move us toward today. Have you struggled with self-doubt, or am I the only one? Am I the only one? Happy Friday. How are you today? So nice to have you with me. Welcome to everybody. Going to center our thinking here. Friday. Let us, in the midst of the craziness of life, whatever you are dealing with in life, just the craziness of our own life, making it through the week. It's Friday. We're going to center our thinking. Try to have the best day possible, the best health day. Bring every good piece of thinking that we can muster together here for a few moments here at the start of this day. And then embark on Friday. We'll make it great. Float into the weekend. I will tell you, we are capable of it. And if we are not, maybe by the end of the show. Okay. Not quite yet. Thought I would bring us over to our peaceful little Zen garden for this little bit of reflection and center our thinking with this quote that I found. Doubt kills more dreams than failure ever will. What do you think of that? Doubt can kill a dream before it even starts, before we even try. Think of the quote we did yesterday from Roosevelt about getting in the arena, of at least trying. We don't know what happens. No guarantees in life. Maybe we try something and fail, but we don't know. We have a dream. Remember, the last time I brought us in this little Zen garden, this was, we did the session Weight Loss Dream. Do you have a dream? Do you have a health vision? Do you have something that you are trying to accomplish? Doubt is the type of thing that can kill it before it even starts. So it's just a dream. We're going to move on from it. Today I'm going to challenge us. We get the dream in our mind. And we say, if I can't accomplish it right now, maybe tomorrow, maybe later today, maybe a year from now, maybe 2, right? Maybe we're on a process that is moving toward it. We're going to get some inspiration from one of my very favorite books to close out the week, Creative Act, A Way of Being, from Rubin. I'm going to walk us through this passage. As far as this book is concerned, this is a little longer section, because he just really dives in. This section called Self-Doubt. Remember, this book, if you're new, this book is for artists. People who are trying to create beautiful paintings and music and all kinds of stuff like this. Rubin is a producer. He's worked with all kinds of famous musicians to produce some of the most popular albums of all time. We are taking the concepts that he uses and finds to help bring out beautiful artistic expressions out of artists. We are envisioning ourselves as artists because we are creating the most important type of artwork that there is, in my view. We're creating the expression of human health and what it looks like to be a human being in this moment of time. It's never existed before. It is a creation, right? This is a creation, and we're creating. What does it look like to be a healthy human being in 2026 in the world, wherever you are? I'm sitting here in Wisconsin, USA. What does it look like? Nobody knows, right? We have some big challenges that we got going on. Toxic food, mass industrial society at a scale that is unprecedented. The rise of AI. Will we look back in the history? Will we say this is the moment when things changed? Man, we got crazy stuff going on. Very hard to know what is real. Things online, you say, can it even be real? You come to fasting space here, okay? No doubt, it is real. All right, self-doubt. We're going to move toward it, okay? Have you thought about some doubts that you have? I'm thinking about doubts I have right now. And let's learn from Rubin. He starts this section, self-doubt lives in all of us. See, already, isn't that reassuring? Listen, if you're struggling with something like this, you're not alone. This is basically like a universal human condition. Who doesn't struggle with doubt? And while we may wish it gone, it is there to serve us. Really? You say, is that really the case? See, already, this is opening the potential already in this line. See, I love this. This is the opposite of what we think. This is how we start opening our mind to things, changing things. We've seen this pattern, right? So often we invert these things, right? Listen to this perspective. Flaws are human. Isn't that the case? It already feels so good to me, right? Are you feeling pressure coming down? We put so much pressure on ourselves, and then we move toward a space, self-doubt, and then already we're trying to move away from doubting ourselves. Good morning, welcome. So nice to have you here. And then we can start judging ourselves for self-doubt, right? Do you see the cycle already? Already he's helping us to move beyond it. Flaws are human, okay? Nothing wrong with any of us when we are full of self-doubt, when we have negative thinking, okay? Just recognize, hey, this is part of the journey, okay? He says the attraction of art is the humanity held in it. If we were machine-like, the art would not resonate. It would be soulless. With life comes pain, insecurity, and fear. So to me, this is setting us already here on this path that is saying, hey, art is helping us to see it. Art is showing us the reality. And then that reality can be difficult. This is the type of thing, right? We don't shy away from any difficult thing in this space, real space. Self-doubt is real. We're seeing it's human. It's a process that can help us recognize reality. He goes on, we're all different. We're all imperfect. And the imperfections are what makes each of us and our work interesting. And then I'm going to take us in this session, like every time I do this book. He's using the word work to talk about, the sculpture the artist is making, the painting that we're working on, the music that we're singing. I'm going to say, look at this situation, the artwork that we're trying to create in a health space, an expression of health, a way of being, right? Our imperfections, the difficulties and the obstacles we have, unique to us. Look, this is what is creating our expression in the midst of that. We take the situations that we have, and then we find the unlock, right? We talk about the weight loss puzzle, right? We have a similar set of tools, but how do we use them and unlock them? Think of that in this line. We create pieces of art reflective of who we are. This is where I have been pushing in so many of these discussions to get into the deepest questions of life. Who are we? And what do we want? Because as we start to answer that in the context of our life, the situations and obstacles we face, this is how we create the artwork that is our life, the expression. We create pieces reflective of who we are and who we are in this situation. Part of that situation, we say, I wish I wasn't in this situation. We are dealt a hand in this existence, seemingly. Like we don't always get to choose, seemingly. Why are things the way they are? Why have things happened the way we are? But we have an opportunity in this moment, despite all the doubts, in the face of all the things that we don't understand, to create something beautiful out of it, to create something of value from it. This is what he's saying in this section, about art, about life, that there is difficulty and pain and fear. And the most powerful space of health to me is moving forward in the midst of that. Seeing that our doubts are part of that process. He says here specifically, if insecurity is part of who we are, then our work will have a greater degree of truth in it as a result. How do you feel about that? To me, that is just a powerful line. This is where he's trying to move, I say, in this beginning, where we say these things are here ultimately to serve us. A search for health in a big way is a search for truth, in my view. What are things that are true about this situation, true about the body, true about how the human body can exist in a space? We did the session the other day. I chopped it up into a little video where I was talking about my reflections on prescribing thousands of weight loss medications. I've prescribed thousands of weight loss medications for people. I did that one, I think I called it A Doctor's Reflection on GLP-1s. Toward the end of that discussion, I was talking about health is the default state of the body. Body, if it is given the right environment, completely supported in everything that it needs, like health happens, just like a garden grows. You know what I mean? Like a farmer doesn't grow the field, right? The field grows. Farmer is creating the space and providing the environment. The gardener is giving the garden the things that it needs, but the garden grows. This is what happens in our health. Our health flourishes when we give it the right environment. But there are certain things that are true about it, you know? Needs a certain amount of water, a certain amount of sunlight, a certain amount of space, you know? If the garden is in the middle of a forest and all the trees are over it, it's going to choke out the light. These are just true things. So what are the true things about this garden of health that we are trying to cultivate? Garden is an artistic expression, right? Making art is not a competitive act, he says. Our work of health is not a competition. This is not a zero-sum game. We are all walking on the health path together, right? We are all trying to figure out the pieces. He says our work is representative of ourself. You would be amiss to say, I'm not up to the challenge. Okay, this is heading right in this space. That's the self-doubt. I'm not up to the challenge. Right? It says here, yes, you may need to deepen your craft to fully realize your vision. That's what we're doing here, right? We are sinking in as deep as possible into the mindsets that help us deepen our craft, right? The craft that we are having, our health process, our way of being, meaning flowing through every health process, opening up the fasting space, balancing it out with the healthiest food, moving the bodies in healthy ways, right? That's the craft. Developing the mental processes that support the whole thing. Listen to what he says. If you're not up to it, no one else can do it. Only you can. You are the only one with your voice. Would you say when I think about it, you just take a look around the world today? Wouldn't you agree? The world needs more healthy people, right? Like healthy physically, healthy mentally, especially above all. It's like in this great population of humanity, right? We're like one little cell, each of us. We're our own little cell in this giant thing. We know we can feel so small in the midst of it. See, but here we are. We have this one moment, this one life. We can't make other people healthy. Say, but we can help ourselves to be as healthy as possible. I say the world needs more healthy people. We can bring that down. I say the world needs the healthiest version of you in it. That's what I want you to help. That's what I'm trying to be. Say, I want to be the healthiest version of myself possible. We are the only ones who can make ourselves that healthiest version. Do you want to choose to do it? Do you want to choose to try to do it? That's even the thing. To just believe that it's possible. Overcome the doubt. The biggest barrier. Right? That's this quote. Doubt kills more dreams than failure ever could. Can't really fail. You know what I mean? In a health path, like if you just try, you do your best, no matter what the outcome is. You say, this is the outcome of it. I did my best. So there's not a zero-sum game, right? We're not competing. That's the line. Not competing with anybody else in health. We're just trying to do our best. Having grace for ourselves along the way. Here in this section, some of this section he does really some deeper reflection on artists. And I think we can just think on this a little bit. He says, people who choose to do art are many times the most vulnerable. There are singers considered among the best in the world who cannot bring themselves to listen to their own voice. And these are not rare exceptions. Many artists in different arenas have similar issues. The sensitivity that allows them to make art is the same vulnerability that makes them more tender to being judged. Still many continue to share their work and risk criticism despite of this. Do you ever feel vulnerable? Do you feel sensitivity to the world? Do you fear being judged? Right? We're sitting in a space, we're envisioning ourselves as an artist trying to create something, our vision of health, our expression. Right? Can you feel that if you step into that space, you're trying to move in that direction? Somebody says, what are you doing? This is not who you are, right? We're just trying to overcome the self-doubt that is telling us we're not who we are. And then we get into that space, and now we're encountering social pressure that reinforces it. Then this is not who you are. Right? Do you see the connection with the art, the expression? Just trying to express anything in the world can lead us into a space of judgment that reinforces our own self-doubt. This is why I say we want to sit in a space like this. So we have to really get into the core. And I keep going to the same question because it's the foundation. Who am I? And what am I and what do I want? When we have our core, then we can build off of that. Right? We can create an expression from that is strong enough to interact, to overcome the doubts and the judgment. Many continue to share their work and risk criticism despite of this. Okay, going on. It's as if they have no other choice. Being an artist is who they are, and they are made whole through self-expression. Well, this is a line that just, speaks so deeply to me. Being made whole is another way to describe healing, right? Oh, I didn't finish my thought. The video that I made the other day where I was discussing medications for weight loss. Okay. We create that environment. We're trying to create an environment in which the body can flourish. Health is the normal, this is what I'm trying to say. Health is the normal outcome. When we are experiencing dishealth, that is not wholeness. And we are lacking wholeness. We can create an environment under many circumstances, like creating the right environment of the garden, where health can express itself. That's healing. We see that as healing. That's a process of being made whole. Here we're talking about wholeness as self-expression. This is it's such an intimate connection. Art, life, creation, expression. We want total wellness in our being across all domains of life. Create the environment for it. Absolutely. If a creator is so afraid of judgment that they're unable to move forward, it might be that the desire to share the work isn't as strong as the desire to protect themselves. Okay, think about this in our health space. Think about this in life. We're envisioning ourselves. We're the creator of our health experience, our life. We're the boss. We're making the decisions. How do we move through all the processes? We have a dream. We see like the vision, right? An artist has the dream, right? They see the sculpture in the mind, The process of bringing it into the world. Many people don't, though. You can appreciate there's people who want to sing. There's people who want to share their art but don't because they're afraid of judgment. That judgment, the fear of it, say, does it work? Is it actually protecting? Yes, it's protecting, okay? By not stepping out, you will protect yourself from the judgment. Absolutely. Desire to share the work isn't as strong as the desire to protect themselves. Do you, now this is getting very personal, okay? But like dig down. Like, is a fear of judgment stronger, the desire to protect yourself in a space? Is it stronger than your desire to move forward in health, to make a powerful move, to change? Right? These are the types of questions. Like you say, okay, how do we change? These are the deep questions to me that help us get at it. Like if we really want to say, okay, the way of being that we've been hasn't been taking me on the path that I want to go, want to make a change. How? Question like this. It says adversity is part of the process. There's some more encouragement. Does it feel difficult? It's like I never tell people to come into a space of change, whether that's any path of health, to do a fasting process, try to change our movement habits, eating habits. Adversity is the path of the artist, right? To push through every barrier, to bring something into the world. We are sitting here trying to bring into the world the healthiest version of ourselves. We're going to encounter adversity to do that. Don't you wish it wasn't the case? I say the work that we're trying to do, we're trying to minimize the adversity. It's not like we don't create adversity for ourselves. We're trying to find the path of least resistance that gets us up. I say, you don't have to make the path as difficult as possible. No, we're trying to make the path as easy as possible. But in the midst of that, this is how we give grace for ourselves. It's not, if some obstacle we are facing, it's like, are we surprised? No. Like, this is life for whatever reason. Here's a nice thought going on. It's worth remembering that we are blessed to get to create. It is a privilege. We are choosing it. We are not being ordered to do this. If we would rather not do it, let's not do it. I love that. How does that resonate with you? This to me is so much of what I'm trying to communicate on this channel. A fasting process, to me, the core health process to lose weight and improve the metabolism, and we build everything else on top of it. And this is how I feel about it. It is a privilege. I love that. To be in a space, think of all of human history, the experience people have had struggling for food, struggling to stay alive. Think of all the poverty and difficulty and space we have in the world. To be in a space of such incredible privilege, to have more food than we could ever possibly eat, is here. And we have the incredible opportunity to say, how do I have a way of being in a space like this? Open up some space without it, find a space of peace and contentment without it, to voluntarily say, I am enough, I have enough in my being right now, this is okay. We are choosing it. See, to me, it's so powerful. What is the choice we make? The choice to create, the choice to open up the space, the choice to say no for a period of time and give the space for the garden to grow, the health to flourish. Nobody ordering you to do it. I certainly am not. Never tell anybody to do anything. Just, to me, fasting is openness, right? It is a calling. It is a path. If someone is coerced to do it, it disappears, and you have destroyed the process. If you'd rather not do it, let's not do it. See, it is open and voluntary space. But it's powerful space. Some successful artists are deeply insecure, self-sabotaging, struggling with addiction, and facing other obstacles to make to making their work. And of course, we all know those stories, right? This gets into the tabloids and all the things. And how many incredible artists have died of an overdose, you know? An unhealthy self-image or a hardship in life can fuel great art, creating a deep well of insight and emotion for an artist to draw from. They can also get in the way of the artist being able to make many things over a long period of time. People who are particularly challenged in this sense generally can't produce creative work over and over again. This isn't because they're not artistically capable, but because they were only able to break through their own issues one or two times to share that work, right? Then they flamed out, right? The complete opposite of what we are trying to go for. We are trying to create a space to unwind anything like that. Struggles with addiction, all these obstacles, right? These are the paths that we're trying to unwind and undo so that we can get to this second space, you know, where we are able to have a long-term process. This is what I want to help us do here. Long-term process of health. Nobody flaming out like the artist who is just like dealing with incredible tragedy and difficulty in life. Okay, we want to just move toward that. Addiction, yeah, I'm happy to talk about it. You know, addiction is in many ways, as I'm just like free thinking about it, something that we are using to find peace and contentment outside of ourselves can become an addiction, all right? Not looking to some sort of spiritual power or something positive, looking toward the light, but looking to something temporary to fill the void that we are feeling inside. So that can be anything. It can be patterns of thinking, it can be behaviors, it can be substances. Something that make us feel temporarily better. This is the hormonal way that the system works in the brain. Dopamine is released. We do something that is interpreted as good, pleasurable, temporarily helps us to feel better. Dopamine, the purpose of it is to build habits. This is how we get in negative cycles. This is how addiction develops. We're in a difficult space. We're feeling terrible in some way. We're looking for something because we are not content with it. We haven't done the deep work to come to a space of peace with something, as difficult as it is. We search for something quick to help us feel better. Maybe it only lasts a few seconds, a few minutes. This is like, I'm describing so many things, but like I'm thinking opiate specifically, right? Man, you hit an opiate, it's hitting all the receptors in the brain. You say, I've never felt better in my entire life. You go from feeling terrible to say, I've never felt better in my entire life. It just reinforces that. Okay, man, powerful addiction. I was at a medical conference the other month. They were showing the intensity of activation of dopamine receptors based on normal experiences that people would have from eating food and participating in every pleasurable thing you can experience. All these little lines, and then they got oxycodone. You know, like hundreds of times hitting these receptors, you know? And so, but anything. And food, of course, in our space, food gets into that space, right? Because even if it's for a few moments, like we're sad and discouraged, lonely, isolated, stressed, anxious. And you can eat something and you will feel better, right? Even it's only a little bit. And so food can become an addiction. So we get into this space, like we're saying, so many artists, where we can get into these spaces, addictions. Right? We want to work ourselves out of that so we can have long-term health and flourishing. Oh, here he gets into it here in this book. Let's just carry on. One of the reasons so many great artists die of overdoses early in their lives is because they're using drugs to numb a very painful existence. The reason it's painful is the reason they became artists in the first place, their incredible sensitivity. If you see tremendous beauty or tremendous pain where other people see little or nothing at all, you're confronted with big feelings all the time. These emotions can be confusing and overwhelming. When those around you don't see what you see, don't feel what you feel, can lead to a sense of isolation, a general feeling of not belonging, of otherness. Have you felt like that? Man, I'm reading that. I can feel a lot there. I think we get into this space, thoughts like that. Can you see patterns in your own life where you've had thinking like that? Where maybe experiences like that, sensitivity to things, has led us to make decisions that have shaped, our path up to this point. And from this place where we're sitting here in this reflection, seeing it and mapping out, why are things the way they are? Why is my thinking the way it is? Why do I feel the way I do? And why do I decide the things I do? Like we started at the beginning, right? We have a story that we tell ourselves about who we are. But as we start to answer these questions and we work through it, we can see these perspectives are constructed. We aren't who we just say we are as the one-liner in our head. Oh, you're not a person who can do this. Charged emotions, powerful when expressed in art, are the same dark clouds that beg to be numbed, to allow us to sleep or to get out of bed, to try to face the day in the morning. It is both a blessing and a curse. That is this section, self-doubt, from this book. Both a blessing and a curse. And so, moving toward that thought for us today. Yeah, the curse we can feel, right? The downside of it, okay? The difficulty, the doubts, the struggle of moving through a space. The other side of it that this work can help us to see. The positive side, to see the sensitivity. So much of our existence in this world, this space, we are just told, like, you gotta toughen up, you gotta be hard in the hard existence, and you've gotta fight, and a certain amount of attitude and verve, and we want to bring intensity. There's a place for that. But this showing us here also the other side of it, that we're not in a competition here. And that so much of the reason we are struggling can be self-imposed. We need to open up the space to see, okay, maybe we have been harmed by things, that we have a sensitivity to something that we did not adequately protect the delicate layers of our happiness. And then from that space, we made decisions to try to protect ourselves, a way of being that helped us in the moment to feel better and get through a situation. But now we're seeing that those decisions not helping us to flow in a healthy direction. Okay, so in the midst of all these things, like the reading said, the beauty and the pain, we have our practice centering ourselves, realizing we have a dream, we have a vision. Say we can feel inadequate, we can feel small. We say, like, I have been working for years to try to do it. Say, I'm not capable of doing it. We add the beautiful word that we started with. Not capable of doing it yet. But we are trying and striving. We are coming together in a very thoughtful space. We are moving toward it in the very best, the very most powerful way that we can. Trying to seek out the paths, the processes, the ways of being that will help us to do it. Yeah, I totally agree with this. This is how it is. Society built on competition. Certain value we can say from it, okay? Yay, capitalism, right? We're trying to get the lowest price, okay? While we externalize all of the cost onto everyone else. Winners and losers in everything, okay? This is how we are trained. This is what so many of our sports was like. I was thinking about this when I was watching the Super Bowl. Okay, Super Bowl is on, and then the Olympics come afterward. You know, some of the beauty of the, Olympics is like, still winners and losers, but it's not always like we're just going to crush people and, it's like everybody trying to ski down a hill. Everybody can have a good time. I guess not everybody wins the gold, but like so many people, so much of everything, winners and losers, and then we define ourselves by it. We don't have to define ourselves by it. I guess that's where I would say it. We don't have to define ourselves by it. We can say, let's have a new culture. This is what I say. Are we not capable of defining ourselves this way? It's like, let's start to do it. Let's learn the processes, The thing that is beautiful about our path, our expression of health, we're not competing with anybody. I think, as a society, I think we'd be much better off building cultures that are just about mutual thriving and flourishing. I'm not an economist, okay? I'm just a doctor. I'm just saying, to me, health and healthcare is the type of place that actually something interesting like that could form, because when we realize that health really is just a unifying force, like who doesn't want to be healthy? We've got a whole society competing over this, everybody trying to get a bigger slice of a pie, like an economic pie, like an actual pie, you know what I mean? It's like everybody in society, everybody just a human being. We talked earlier in the session, like, a search for better health is a search for truth, like what is true? How do we have human beings, as many of us as possible, experiencing the greatest amount of health possible? Like, what a beautiful thought. What if we were organizing our society around a vision like that, instead of saying like, I need to maximize every dollar in my bank account, and I need to convince everybody that, this and such is the way it is. Like, everybody wants to be healthy. Everybody wants to be their kids to be as healthy as possible. And everybody's a human being that needs the same thing, some sunlight and some fresh air and clean water and healthy food, safe spaces to be able to move our body, to be strong. And then I say the big key, if we're trying to like unwind this situation that we're in, some fasting space, okay, is powerful healing space. Just opening up the space. It's like We've been trying to grow a garden in the middle of the woods, and the trees are blocking all the sunlight. Say, let's just like clear a little space. Say, I feel bad cutting down a tree. Okay, but we got to open a little space here so the garden can grow, so the sunlight can come in on this process. We'll call them buckthorn trees. I did the show the other day. I was burning up the buckthorn that are invading the forest and killing all the native plants. They're choking out our garden. Okay, that's the type of thing we're going to cut down. Buckthorn has its place. I think it started from Europe somewhere. It's not supposed to be here, you know? Put things in their proper place, you know what I mean? So this is the health space. We want to open up health and healing, create spaces, ways of being to do it, have a process we can all walk forward to do it, like finding things that are true about how the body works. I'll tell you the things that are true in my observation is that if you need to lose weight, paradoxically, counterintuitively, fasting space, one of the easiest ways to do it. Now, you follow along with me? I never say fasting is easy. I'm not saying it's easy. But losing weight is not easy. Being healthy in the midst of a toxic culture, right, is not easy. Nothing is easy. You know, you tell me the easiest path and like, let's do it. You know, find what it is. Fasting can be the easiest because it is the simplest. It has no cost and in fact saves money, you know? I was like, there's a huge bonus, you know? It has extremely little risk. As long as you are being thoughtful and you're staying hydrated and you're listening to your body and you're not pushing through anything. It's like, look, the body is designed to fast. Fasting is a healing space in the body. We did the session just the other day from the hospital, 107 patients hospitalized for even extended fasting. Everybody do okay. People's diseases going away, like they're documenting 1963. People come in with terrible psoriasis and it's resolving in the hospital in these extended fasts. People's blood pressure coming down. Beautiful healing space that can happen when we open up the space to do it. It's like, to me, this is the path forward in health. Whereas, like, you know, I want everybody to be experiencing things like this. I don't really talk to anybody here. Simple fasting. Maybe we'll do more in the future, talk about extended fasting things. I know it's just been on my mind as I'm reading these studies. Like, who doesn't want healing? You know what I mean? It's like, are we open to any kind of healing, no matter where we would find it? When you start to realize, open up some space, nothing actually to do. See, that's just telling me, take a big deep breath. Isn't that what we need? Don't you think in society today, don't we all need to just take a big collective deep breath and recenter ourselves? So much division in our society, so much hatred and conflict, everybody fighting about different sort of things. I've been amazed just to watch, you know, we got certain people in the world trying to, you know, within the government now, trying to say, like, can we have a conversation about some sensible food policy? Now food become political. Like, people arguing. Like, this is why I say truth. This is why I say health is about truth. Like, let's just bring things down. What is true here? I was saying in that study yesterday, you know, admitting all these people to the hospital went through this process, everybody losing a lot of weight on it, followed these people almost 3 years. 60% of people almost 3 years later, the same weight or less, just incredible result. And then we say 40% say were regained the weight. See, we're not capable of that yet, right? And if we think in a broader sense in the healthcare system, shouldn't the healthcare system be about helping as many people as possible to be able to grow in their ability to practice all of these things? So see, you're not capable of it yet, but let's help you, right? So I want the healthcare system, and maybe like, let's build this space into a space that can do it. That would be my best vision. Everybody come together. Help everybody, come together. Everybody on the same team. Nobody competing. Everybody on the same team, just trying to be as healthy as possible. Path going to be different for each person, but can we support the process? Beautiful to share this space with you. Really appreciate all the interaction, the thoughts, the comments. Feels like a good space to me. I really do. These feel like the type of ideas we need to move toward, but personally, it's the ideas that I am moving toward. And so let's move all toward it together. Did you watch this video that I put out, the little section, GLP-1s? We do much more talking about GLP-1s. I have a lot, it's very, very big space. No negative thought. I want no negative thought to anybody who wants to take a medicine, okay? If a medicine can help anybody, I want anybody to take it. But right, we dig down on these deeper levels. Cost and risk are things that I'm trying to stay away from. The most powerful, the space that have actual healing, are these basic fundamental things. I say let's move toward it together. Let's think about it this weekend. I will look forward to being back with you next week. We will increase our capability. Things that we're not capable of yet, we will continue our path toward greater skill accomplishment next week. Have a great day, everybody. Talk to you again soon.